Alright everybody, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, consider subscribing after seeing what the video is all about. Well guys, after a long time of maybe making you guys think that I was no longer interested in making a video that demonstrates how a washing machine works, I thought to surprise you with a new washing machine video. But to start, I'd like to say this is nothing against Samsung. I used to own Samsung for about 4 years, and now I decided to join the General Electric side. Spoiler alert, that's what I decided to invest in this time. And I thought maybe to start the video, we'd start with a walkthrough on how the washing machine works, the functions behind it, and since I had a Samsung with a 4.8 with the AquaJet, kind of maybe tell you what the differences were between the two, and I will end the video with my opinion on this washing machine so far. Now, I've ran 5 loads through the machine, and my experiences thus far have been great. But I want to also teach you how to use this machine if you've never used a high efficiency washing machine. So without further ado, let's take a little tour of this GE washing machine that we just recently purchased. No doubt about it. It's very well made. You have the stainless steel tub, but then you have a plastic impeller system, which, you know what, I'm not too concerned about. I do think that the baffles stick up quite a ways, so it does help for turnover when it comes to washing clothes. I will also show you how this washing machine works in the near future, but just for now, we're just going to go around the washing machine to show you kind of how it works. On the bottom left side of the tub, you have your bleach dispenser. And then just above here, of course, just like every standard high efficiency unit, you've got your dispenser. What's unique about this unit is that there's a designated spot for the Tide pods, which is very uncommon with most washing machines. Most units, you just toss them into a tub, but this one looks like it's directly, you just leave it in place, water pours right through that spout, kind of disintegrates it, and then basically just pours it above your clothes, which is a very unique approach because there's no way that you're going to be able to fit a pod through that little gap there. Softener to the left, detergent to the right, nothing new or different there. And then we'll take a look at the front of this unit. You'll see here in the very far right, 10-year limited warranty, but just so you folks know, this 10-year limited warranty is only on the direct drive motor. It's not a belt driven unit, it's a direct drive motor, which basically does not have belts, idlers, and a pulley system to toggle the impeller, thus makes it a little bit quieter during the wash cycle and makes it overall more reliable. I have the lid up because you always want to make sure that during your cycles or after your cycles, you have, well, not during the cycles, but rather after the cycles, you let the washing machine air out. This is just reduce the likelihood of mold, mildew, or any just foul odors. But here's my first nitpick with this unit. You ready? I hate that. I hate that we have a power button, but as soon as you either open it or close it, hey, it turns on. When I read in the manual, the unit is not like Samsung or LG or most Kenmore products, or any Whirlpool product for that matter. It does not truly disconnect from the power source, which I find it kind of, I don't know, I just find it, for the price that you're paying, it's just ridiculous. You know, you do that because you want to reduce the likelihood of a power surge affecting your unit. So to pay this kind of money, and when you open your tub, it turns on. I find it to be pretty irritating. But in any which case, let's go through it as if the lid was closed and the board was off. If you see this unit, it's a high efficiency unit. It's Energy Star, and it has deep fill, which is a setting in the washing machine. It's got the nice little GE emblem there, and everything here is push button, which is one of the things that I wanted to stay away from. My old Samsung was a push button, and it never gave me any issues. These thermal units, especially the ones manufactured by LG, back when I worked at Sears, would always break. I don't know what it is. Maybe putting thermal on the washing machine makes them that more susceptible to repairs, but LG started it, and it was just always an issue with anybody who purchased it, setting up service within 3 to 5 years, and most of the time was just a computer board. So this time, Samsung has adapted to that technology. I guess they're just both on that bandwagon. Kenmore has it, Maytag has it, some Whirlpools had that touch, and it's interesting, it's cool, but it's super deceptive, and a lot of them break down through time. So I just thought, let me steer clear of it and just stick with conventional buttons. That little gimmick, all it does is just cause more problems in the future. So we'll power on the unit, and then just below that you got your, you know, start and pause. This one's a little bit unique in the sense that, well, I'll show you when we do our first load. The lid locks for a second and then opens, so that way you can just toss in garments as it does its soak. But we'll get there in just a little bit. As of course you see the Arctic blue light. Now that goes through all your settings, and it changes the presets here that you have complete control over on most. Right now we're in Sanitize, and so here really you don't have the option besides just the spin velocity of how to change it. But if you go to Deep Clean, for example, you can. See? Drain, spin, same difference. So take a look at some of the features here. Look, quick wash on my Samsung was like 40 minutes. On here it's 24 minutes. That's with a hot temperature, a light soil. If we increase it, we don't exceed 30 minutes. However, if we want to add deep fill, it doesn't affect it. If you want to add a deep rinse, it may affect it, but it doesn't go over the 40 minutes that the Samsungs took off at. So here we go. Active wash 49, jeans 47, delegates 51. Whites, colors, towels, bulky, casuals. Back to Sanitize, which would be the longest cycle, and that's just because you have an internal heater that's going to bring the temperature up to Sanitize, you know, the pet dander, and then any kind of, you know, allergen on the clothes that can make your children either have sinus infections, whatever the case may be. What I like is also, if you are a fan of washing clothes, but most importantly getting them out clean, it's got a ton of room to play with. So let me show you. I'll show you with the deep fill. A lot of folks say that they don't use a lot of water. True, GE is one of those that don't use too much water. However, on a lot of cycles, you can use deep fill. You see I'm on activewear, deep fill, got it. Jeans, deep fill, got it. Doesn't affect the time. Now, on colors, you do not have deep fill. On bulky, you have deep fill. On casuals, you have deep fill. On Sanitize, you don't have deep fill. On deep clean, on drain. Okay, so you have it pretty much on everything except for 3 cycles, which I think one of them also is sheets. Oh no, you have it there too. Then you also have a warm rinse, which is incredibly unique. It's going to bypass the efficiency of the unit because you're going to be using hot water, but you do have warm rinse, right? You also have extra rinse. You have a deep rinse, of course. You want to have that on if you got fabric softener, it says so right there. Sound, delay wash, which is awesome. You can delay it. Look how long you can delay it for. Delay it for 24 hours. You have an auto soak, which is awesome too if you have some deep stains. Take a look at this. 15, 30, 60, 2 hours, back to 0. So you have tons of room for soaking garments that maybe have some deep stains on there. You have a MyCycle, which is also featured on the fully featured LG units and Samsung units. Essentially what it does is your favorite cycle, if you hold that, it'll save your cycle. So all you're basically doing is turning on the product, hitting your MyCycle, not having to finagle with it, and it goes right to the setting that you use the most. But through everything, you can mess with the temperatures, you can mess with the soil and the spin cycle, and the soil is going to affect how that impeller washes. And then right down here, you got a stain removal guide. Went out to an Italian restaurant and got tons of pasta on you? There you go, you got tomato. Went out to an Italian restaurant and had some wine? Spilled some on you? There you go. Went out to an Italian restaurant and got into an argument with the chef? Maybe got blood on you? There you go. Went out to an Italian restaurant where there's grass on the outside? Well, there you are. And then if you got dirt on you, I guess, before you went to the Italian restaurant, you also have that cycle. And how that works is you just select it, and it does ramp up the time on most of these. But also, what it's going to do is it's going to change your cycle. Fill, soak, wash, rinse, spin. If we don't have that on, each unit, each cycle has a different meter. See? It may not have a soak. It may just have a fill, a wash, a rinse, and a spin, because this is kind of like your progress meter. So, thus far, I'm impressed. I really like the washing machine. I like a lot of the uniqueness and inventiveness of it. I find it to be pretty refreshing. in a time where pretty much every washing machine is the same, especially the Whirlpools, Maytags, and Kenmores. But I think it offers a lot of unique features to modern consumers. A lot of the people who I've been watching the videos for have been complaining that it makes noise. Let me tell you something, guys. I've been washing my clothes, my wife's clothes, our child's clothes for several years. If you load any washing machine, no matter what brand it is, it's going to go off balance. It's going to make a lot of noise during the high spin cycles. But if you do a good job of managing where the clothes goes throughout the quadrants, throughout the tub, because it is a massive tub, you can't just wash one pair of pants and then call it good. You are going to be pleasantly surprised. And I've told this to my wife several times. I said, I love our washing machine. I love our washing machine. It's very quiet. It does a very good job cleaning clothes. I know this. I had a Samsung for many years. I don't think it consumes as much water as the Samsung. I think it washes as well as the Samsung. And I think for the price point, it's just as competitive, and it offers a very unique approach to washing clothes that the Samsungs, the LGs, and everything else kind of lack. I don't think that the impeller does a better job of washing your clothes, but when you can manage, kind of micromanage your wash, the way you're going to wash your garments, I think you're impressed. I mean, I am. I don't think that the quick wash being 40 minutes long was a huge thing on the Samsung, but for it to be 30 minutes long on the GE is quite pleasant, and I also appreciate that. You know, it's a very unique and very different machine. So with that being said, if I were to rate this unit out of 10, I'd probably give it a solid 9. And the reason why I'd give it a solid 9 is because it has a lot of features to really dial in on how you want to wash your clothes, assuming that you wash your clothes separately organized, you know, your delicates, your polyesters, your cottons, your jeans, and everything in an organized fashion. It really allows you to fine-tune that washing. But if you throw everything into the washer, mix low, which is going to be an issue in the future because it's just going to damage your bearings. It's going to stress out the direct drive motor and make your tub go off balance. It's just going to do a lot more damage than it does good. Then I think maybe you're going to be disappointed because it doesn't have a sound dampening system like Samsung does. So, I mean, it'll go off balance. You're going to hear it. There's no ands or buts about it. But if you sort it out, you do a good job, boom, you have a ton of room to play with dialing how you wash it. My only complaint with this is just that. So dumb for what you're paying for. For it to just have a freaking power off button, but as soon as you open your lid, it powers on, and it'll stay on for like 15-20 minutes. It's just ridiculous. And then I will, so in the future, demonstrate how it washes. I've already done a few loads. Well, I already done a load today, but I will film a cycle, be a quick wash, or if you have any comments below of what cycle you'd like to see from the ones that I mentioned here, I'd go ahead and just throw some clothes in there and demonstrate how it works with a full tub. I'm going to also do a full walkthrough on the basically counterpart of the GE washing machine, which is awesome. 7.4 cubic foot dryer LED light, yeah, and just a great unit too. Very quiet, very efficient. But of course, this one doesn't do what that one does. This one I can open the door and it stays off until I go ahead and turn it back on. I mean, you did it for one. Why can't you do it for the other? Come on, GE. You know, get on point with it. But another one that has tons of options, tons of ways to wash to dry your clothes, and just more features. So if you just sit tight, give me a little bit, I'll make sure to upload that for you. Along the way, if there's anything you'd like to see, just make sure to leave me a comment, subscribe, just reach out to me, and I'll show you how this unit works if you're in the market for a new washing machine and you don't know which way to go. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a great day. Hopefully this walkthrough taught you something, and hopefully you make an informed decision based on the research that you're making. But there's not a lot of videos of this out there, so I want to make sure that I can kind of show you how this one works. So yeah, thanks again for joining me today. Hope you have a great day, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Have a great day. Bye.